the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. With that, let's get on up to FedEx Field near Washington. Standing by for the call of this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Flushed out right. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 17 yards and a Giant first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's go. 8, read. Choose the mic. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Sims, flush to his right. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Now Sims, sliding out of the pocket. Robinson's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 26.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. This is Morris. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And the offensive starters for the New York Giants.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Sims, escaping the pressure right. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Operating from the gun. Sims eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And his kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense as they get their first shot. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A nice looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
He's going to let this go. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
The outlaw. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4. Flushed out right. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Redskins have taken the lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
On first down, Morris. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Go now. 18 Gator.
In Washington territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 38. Here's Morris fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down. Sims flush to his right. And this is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Hard to believe, but the regular season starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. A Redskin first down, the pickup 15 yards. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Downfield offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. And he'll give it here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play, and it'll be second and very short. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, staying ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, first and 10 at the 42-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. He's got it complete to Clark. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Caught here by Griffin. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. It's the fullback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins have once again taken the lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that makes it 14-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. 10 yards, good for a giant first down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 1. Flushed out right. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Let's go.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. In for the score as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 17-14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
2nd and 3. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. A Redskin first down. The pickup, 15 yards.
91. Let's go, defense.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That's what I'm talking about, boys.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a handoff here to his running back. Past the 20. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A huge play there for Washington. 43 yards on the ground. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Now back to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Second and 13. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. From 13 yards out as they have taken the lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Extra point attempt to come here. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2nd and 5. Escaping the pressure right. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Sims. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
On 4th down, Sims eluding the pressure right. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Morris. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And this is caught at the 8. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a 1st down.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Quarterback, don't get nervous.
Off the play fake. Sims flushed out right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. This is caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys have now moved out in front. So they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it, because nowadays you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now they relinquished that lead. That could be in for an interesting 2nd half.
It certainly appears.
It's caught inside the 25.
We play to win.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And now they have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Brandon, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
Now the try here for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Throwing to start the drive, Sims. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run with Morris. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
22 yards there, a first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Sims, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From 4 yards out. And now they have taken a 4th quarter lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Brandon, that's that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Flush to his right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, when this drive began, the offense only needed a field goal, but the defense ramped up the pressure, and after back-to-back sacks, they're feeling confident they might keep them off the board.
Escaping the pressure right. The open man is Clark, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Morris. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
Throwing right, and that's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot, so what can they do to get closer now on 3rd down? Back to throw. He'll buy some time right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens...
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Let's go.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Throwing left side. He's got Clark complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. Now a handoff here to his running back. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. 2nd and 6. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 27 yards there, a first down. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. To see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Redskins, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next